This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We are under a storm alert tonight. There is another flash flood threat. Some places saw several inches of heavy rain today, and even more is on the way. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Ann Allred. Mike Bush has the day off. Our Weather First team is tracking heavy rain, also the possibility of severe weather with strong winds and hail. We have team coverage tonight with reports on problems the rain caused this morning. Let's start with Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with what's on the way. Scott.
Well, you know, we'd have another round of showers and thunderstorms expected to develop here as we head through the evening into the overnight hours. This is going to bring several threats with it, the first of which will be a severe weather threat. So let's get into things. Right now, it is warm, it is muggy in St. Louis. You can feel the humidity a lot different than the last couple of days. Some filtered sunshine through that cloud cover too. That's not a good thing. That just makes it more unstable. So far, everything's fairly quiet. These are just random showers up to the north of St. Louis. Little rain towards Bowling Green right now. Then we look back into mid-Missouri. We're starting to see showers and thunderstorms developing. It's the area really from about Columbia west out towards Sedalia that we'll be watching for additional development. Severe weather threats this evening, then overnight we are in a high-risk area for flash flooding, at least a 40% chance around St. Louis, which that is high. And as you would expect, there is a flood watch in effect for the potential flash flooding. This does include the metro St. Louis area. So our concerns are twofold. We have the flash flooding concerns, especially since areas west of St. Louis have seen some heavy rainfall the last couple of nights. We'll get more of that tonight, but it looks like the heavy rain band tonight sets up around St. Louis. And before that heavy rain band sets up, we're dealing with the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms. That should happen after 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and the potential is there for some damaging winds. Even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out before we get into that overnight flash flooding threat. A lot going on in the next 12 to 18 hours, so make sure you're staying weather aware this evening.
All right, Scott, and let's continue our team coverage with Weather First meteorologist Tracy Henson.
And Tracy, you're going to take a closer look at what we saw happen this morning.
Yes, okay, so we saw significant rainfall that came in, quite a bit of lightning as well. It had a lot of energy with it. Not much in the way of severe weather, but significant rainfall rates here as this came through this morning. You can see it really targeted Gasconade and the western corner of Franklin County there. So our rainfall estimates, this is radar based. This is not an actual instrument that's out there, so it is an estimate, but at best we can tell that roughly 3 to 5 inches, maybe even closer to 6 inches fell in parts of Gasconade and just a little touch of Franklin County there. Plenty of storm reports out there, especially over into Columbia, but then a cluster here for us as well, where there's a little bit more people. So as we made our way into Rosebud and then also Gerald, some pretty interesting reports here. And this is just a note that we're going to have the same thing for us overnight in the metropolitan area. So just be careful out there. Numerous reports of water covering the roadway. We had 3 cars stalled in that floodwater. And then in Rosebud, not too far away, several roads covered in water. And then that 4 vehicles were pulled from the water around town. That was around 6:22, so it was light at that time.
The flash floods were especially bad today in Gasconade County.
Mark Maxwell takes a look at the damage in Bay, Missouri.
These roads were impassable, flooded early Wednesday morning. The high water has receded by now, but what's left in its wake is an impressive reminder of the strength of surging water. You get enough rushing water all flowing in the same direction, and not much can stand in its way. A creek flowing through here spilled over its bank, flooding the fields around it with water so high it bent these trees to its will, stripping much of the bark off as if someone was using a carrot peeler to strip the bark away. Cornfields surrounding the area also flooded. Farmers perhaps seeking crop insurance to recoup their losses. Some farmers even telling us they're out searching the fields for their cattle, hoping their livestock weren't swept away. The flash floods kept the county road department busy trying to clear the mud, gravel, and debris out of the roadways.
If the water is going over the slab, don't even risk it, because you never know if the slab's washed out underneath or whatever. Just turn around and go the other way. And especially when it gets those whoops in there, you know it's way too high then.
Some homeowners in the surrounding area said their basements took on some water, but no serious or significant property damage to report. Also, no signs or word of any personal injuries at this point. Just a reminder of the impressive strength of the force of nature that can happen in these flash floods. And now the town bracing for what could be more to come in the hours ahead. Reporting in Gasconade County, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Franklin County, the storms caused some flash flooding early this morning. Some roads were flooded in Gerald, like this one just off of Highway 50. The Gerald Rosebud Fire Protection District is a volunteer department who helped with rescues today. They tell us they have never seen anything like this.
This is unreal, and it seemed like it happened within minutes. We also have had a lot of people say that low water bridges in our area are rushing with water, our rivers and everything. I had a few people tell me out on this last incident that we had, said that they drove through it and they almost got swept off of the road. We just want to harp on turn around and don't drown. You know, just if you see standing water, it's not worth it. Just think of your family and think of the people in your life, because it can happen in seconds. You could drown.
Some homes got flooded. There were concerns about water rising up to the outlets. Public Works helped pump water out of several homes.
You have been sending in your flood pictures. Thank you so much. This is from Gib Ballinger, sent us this picture. This is in Sullivan this morning. Several inches of rain outside of their front door. Send us your weather pics. Just text them to 314-425-5355.
And we continue our team coverage with road safety. Overnight, 2 tractor trailers overturned. The drivers are recovering from their injuries.
Our Justina Cornell joins us live near I-64 in St. Louis with some tips for drivers before the next round moves in. Justina.
Yeah, so the biggest message, though, with slick roads, it's important for drivers to slow down, especially right now as there are more travelers on the road with summer travels. Now, earlier this morning, there were 2 different tractor-trailer crashes. A man sustained serious injuries after he drove off Interstate 55 in Peevely, going airborne onto Route Z. And there was another crash in South St. Louis County. A driver has minor injuries after he ran off 255, overturning that truck. Now, earlier today, I spoke to the executive director of the Illinois Trucking Association. Matt Hart tells me if you're changing lanes, give plenty of room for tractor trailers since they need more space to slow down. He explained it could take 2 football fields to stop properly since some trucks weigh 80,000 pounds. Hart added there are 4 no zones around a truck.
It's directly in front of the truck, directly behind the truck if you can't see their mirrors, and on the left side, and particularly on the right side. There's a lot of automobile drivers don't even realize that the right side of a semi has a very large blind spot where the driver just cannot see you.
Now we expect more rain overnight. If you have to be out on the roadway, make sure to slow down and avoid any flooded areas. Reporting in St. Louis, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
To get the latest Weather First forecast, text the word weather to 314-425-5355.